So we're gonna go over some more Street Fighter 6 high-level footage. Thanks to Flawless Deku, he actually recorded and has a ton of awesome footage on his channel, and he was very kind enough to allow me to break down some of it for you guys. And of course, I'll provide the links to his channel in the video description below. And Flawless Deku is actually playing himself as Jamie. And we've seen a lot of high-level footage with Valmaster and Chun-Li, and even Luke with Junior Leo that we just covered as well. And this time around, we're actually lacking footage for Ryu and some Jamie as well. Man, at this point, I wasn't as interested in Jamie, but now seeing like this footage, I really don't know which character I want to main when this game comes out. I'm sure you guys are going to enjoy this one and see a lot cooler stuff with these characters. So we see the forward hard punch. We know in Street Fighter 6, you can't link after it like you normally would in Street Fighter 5. But if you get like a punish counter, I'm sure you have enough frame advantage to actually link after it. But you can special cancel it in this version. So he can go into like EX Donkey Kick from here or EX Tatsu, for example. But it's a lot of people, like it's a hard adjustment because you're just so used to linking after, you instinctively wait. And you can also do a drive rush from that and be really mad plus, have mad advantage. Right there, you saw an example as a block string. I wonder how plus that is, too. Love you seeing the drive rush. Nice. That's a good whiff punish. This is Jamie's heavy kick. It looks wild. Kind of reminds me of Rashid's standing heavy kick. And you can see it kind of goes over lows, but he just did a little too early, but that was a nice whiff punish by Ryu. So first thing here is look at Ryu's standing heavy punch. Look how insane this button is. So we went from Ryu having T-Rex arms with his elbows. He's using like his elbow and it barely reaches anywhere, to now it's like Akuma's Street Fighter 5 standing light punch on crack. It goes so insanely far. And it has so much range that he can do standing light punch like several times here. In fact, with the recent footage from the NYC guys, they pretty much showed that every character has like a 3 light confirmed right now. So the lights are really, really good in this game. So the whole sequence here is standing light punch twice into crouching medium punch fireball. And nice buffer that here too. Ryu doing standing light kick into EX Tatsu right when Jamie walks in. And it keeps him in the corner. Another thing too is like, ideally EX Tatsu might be the go-to for Ryu when you're close to the corner. Because if you did EX Donkey Kick, for example, they would fly over your head. Because right now at this current time, we don't know if that's just something unfinished in the game, or because it doesn't lock on. So like in Street Fighter 5 right now, if you do any kind of wall bounce move, the character will bounce and land in front of you no matter where you are in the screen. But right now it's like a set distance, so if it would have hit Jamie with the EX Donkey Kick, would have flew right over Ryu's head. So doing like EX Tatsu seems to be the go-to. Look at that standing light punch again. So good. So much range. Like Ryu is just like... This is like the best version of Ryu, man. Everything about Ryu in this looks so good. There's Jamie. Jamie sees the reversal. He has a DP, so the OD version is a reversal, invincible reversal. But like I said, if you block this, man, he is so open. That first hit has so much delay afterwards. Nice. Okay, so also with the NYC guys, I had a chance to playtest Street Fighter 6 just yesterday. So they confirmed that all the strengths of the DPs are invincible anti-airs. So if someone jumps in on you and you're at the right range, you might as well do heavy DP and get max deeps. So this is really going to help the anti-airs. And in Street Fighter 5, this was a problem with some characters, you know? Some characters, especially Shotos, they were restricted to using only medium punch uppercuts because that was the designated anti-air. Usually the light version was like, you know, invincible to throws, and the heavy versions were invincible to fireballs. They all had their 3 specific uses. But in this game, it seems that all the uppercuts are invincible to jump and attacks. You can basically, the strength is what the strength you want to use is the horizontal distance it covers, right? So maybe your character's heavy DP will go further, so you use it when they jump further from you. And if they're right over your head, you ideally want to use the light punch uppercut so you don't fly right past them, right? So this is awesome. This is going to put a lot more damage on the table. It's a lot more intuitive too. You'll understand right away, hey, uppercut, anti-air, you don't have to worry about using the medium one. Because, you know, a new player, they might not understand, hey, you have to do the medium one specifically, right? But yeah, really good damage, plus the punish counter on top of that. So good. You can see Flawless was trying to use the dive kick there to throw off his jump trajectory. And he got hit a fireball right there. And you get a punish counter from that too, man. Ooh! So yeah, you gotta be patient. You gotta be patient in this game, man. You're being put in neutral a lot, you know, and being able to do a heavy uppercut, man. It's gonna cost a lot. You gotta use the parry, you know. You gotta be patient. Nice. See that whiff punish? Beautiful. Ryu's crouching medium kick goes so far, and it seems like, once again, looking at the footage all the way up to this point, it seems like every character's crouching medium kick is good, but they all have weight to them, and they all have extended hurt boxes. So they're powerful, especially because of drive rush. Everyone's crouching medium kick leads into like a full drive rush combo. But if you whiff this normal, you are very, very open for an attack from almost anything because of the extended hurt boxes. All the characters seem to have really good normals in this game. There seems not to be like much stubby normals in general. But just seeing Ryu do this is great. There's that standing light punch again. Help box them in. And you see Jamie's drinks there. Like how fast he was getting the stocks of drinks. Well, right here, this is a target combo for Jamie. This is crouching heavy kick into heavy kick. And you can actually press punch right after. And you can get a drink from this target combo. That starts from a sweep. And then he gets another drink right there. So you gotta be really careful against Jamie. Like, if you're just kind of sleeping at the wheel, he can have like level 3 in just a second on you, right? And Jamie's really strong when he gets the drinks. Every time Jamie gets a drink, he gets new target combos and he gets new special moves on you. To the point where he gets absurd stuff like extensions on his core moves like his Rekkas, or even a command grab at level 3. You know, you don't want to let Jamie get those drinks off. And he doesn't have to just use it in neutral like he just did right there. Like I said, he can combo into it. So they reset every single round, but they're really powerful and they're not too hard to get as long as you're, you know, winning the match. So we see the OD version of his dive kick. It's a special move. It's not a command normal. So he does the OD version and it knocks the opponent up so you can juggle them afterwards. That's heavy kick DP. Normally when you do the dive kick, if it hit Ryu there, it would knock him down. But this allows you to juggle him up, right? So you can do whatever after, which is like another opportunity to get the drink. I feel like Jamie's gonna be really good in Street Fighter 6, but people are gonna downplay the character like he's not. I think every character in Street Fighter 6 looks really strong right now. Every single character. There's no character that looks lacking right now. But I think Chun-Li is probably the most complicated character at this point. We have seen some great Chun-Li play by Valmaster, but there's so much more to Chun-Li with her stances in general. So there, you got level 4. Boom! Now he's like, Jamie's like, Nakali. Look at that. What the heck was that? Look at the look at the extended hurt box. Look how far that was. Look how far Jamie is. And then the Ryu player does a crouching medium punch and the EX donkey kick. Boom! So, like I said, if you take the risk of doing crouching medium kick, as powerful as they are, and you whiff it, you can eat an attack. So this is Jamie's enhanced Rekka. From being in level 4, he gets like an extra hit on each rep. The third one does 3 hits. So big deeps. Looks like more corner carry as well. Nice dash in. Another thing too, I know I talk about the tech throws a lot, but because throwing is such a big part of Street Fighter, happens all the time. When you tech throws and you get pushed back this often, there's going to be a lot more neutral in Street Fighter 6. If you guys like the neutral play, That's like the thing I love the most about Street Fighter, and it forces players to be back in this situation more often. Street Fighter 5 is very momentum based, where a lot of characters where they'll knock you down, either they earn it or they do an Unga move, right? And then they get the Oki, and you're in serious trouble in Street Fighter 5 because of how strong the shimmy game is, and how there's a lot of moves that are like -2 with our high reward, low risk, and there's a lot of V-trigger stuff that allows you to get in as well, right? There's no V-triggers in this game, and even though Ryu was in the corner, when he teched the throw, he's able to get out now. And now, if you combine that with the extended hurt boxes on the crouching medium kick, how everything is very whiff punishable, how you have to really think about the buttons you press, you can't just throw them out, you're going to see a lot more of this kind of struggle in neutral. And it doesn't look like they're giving the characters stubby buttons. I know we've only seen like 7 characters by this point, but I'm really liking the flow of this game. And it's kind of funny, like in Street Fighter 4, when they made Street Fighter 5, they were like trying not to make it like Street Fighter 4. They tried to take the things that they didn't like about Street Fighter 4 out, with like getting rid of like the hard knockdown vortex game. They really want to get rid of that, right? And then in Street Fighter 5, once again, they're really taking a look at how the shimmy game, the shimmy meta, and the very like pressure heavy the game is with like the throw loops and all that, and they're like trying to make this different. And I think they're doing it right so far. Ooh, that cross up. I'm surprised. Is that Rekka not punishable? Look at Jamie just kind of weave back. That was a step kick. It's forward heavy kick, and look how he just kind of... That looks so crazy. That's so cool. Nice crouching medium kick there. So the overhead, you get a target combo from the overhead, and that he gets that after level 1. They both have like high level supers, so they're like both like 1 hit away there. Nice. A lot of crouching medium kicks still. Crouching medium kick is usually like one of the most used normals in Street Fighter because it's cancelable and it hits low and it has good range most of the time for most characters. That was Jamie's crouching heavy punch into Rekka's, and then the last hit you can drink. You can choose to drink, or you can choose for damage. And here's Jamie's command normal, is forward heavy kick. I'm not sure if this hits low. I'm not sure if it hits low, but it's a really good button to go into his level 2 that I realized, because his level 2 looks safe on block when he activates, and if this game had V-trigger, Jamie's forward heavy kick would be like his go-to button for activating. I looked in the command list for his forward heavy kick, and it didn't specifically say that it hits low, so I'm going to assume it does not hit low. Anyways, he activates from this, and if you land a hit, you can continue the combo afterwards, and it looks like he uses crouching heavy punch. Jamie's crouching heavy punch is also his anti-air as well, if you don't want to use DP. It's a really good button. And then he goes into his breakdance. Breakdance, it's just another special move you earn from drinks. You don't get it with 0 drinks. Oh no. So something I'm going to mention here, even though he drops the combo, so that, like I said, we know that there's like pseudo crush counters in this game. And he uses Jamie's heavy kick there, which will kind of get Ryu to kind of crumple and fall down so you can get another hit afterwards. And then he goes into drive rush from heavy kick. And then he goes down 2 kicks for the launcher kick. And then he goes for a juggle. I think he tried jumping medium punch there. But what's interesting is that we found out recently watching the NYC footage from Yipes and those guys and L.I. Joe. When you use drive rush, you do not just get frame advantage. There are certain normals that literally get enhanced. And if you look at the command list under drive rush, it literally says it enhances normals. So they showed that with Jamie's launcher kick specifically, if you use drive rush and go into this launcher kick, you can juggle like anything, like his jumping heavy kick, for example. But if you just do his launcher kick and jump and try to juggle afterwards, you can only use his medium punch. Like his heavy kick won't work, it'll whiff. So that tells us that the drive rush gives like extra properties to whatever normal. You can do extra juggles afterwards as well. So the drive rushes really is the key to getting like the high damage and longer extended combos in general. And I wouldn't be surprised if you do like Jamie's launcher, his down 2 kicks from a punish counter, and you'd probably still get the same properties where you can juggle into anything. But I thought I should mention that here. We'll go over like all the new info on the NYC footage in the future. I'll probably go over that with Mir because there's a lot of info there. And Jamie's standing medium kick is crazy too. Look at this button. It's really good, dude. That's cancelable. That standing medium kick. Usually medium kicks like that aren't cancelable. You know, it's like Ryu standing medium kick. Kind of reminds me of like Evo Ryu Street Fighter 4 standing medium kick. Like usually these buttons aren't, you know, but this is, or it's kind of like Cadine standing medium kick. That's a really good button for Jamie. That's that target combo again. Crouching heavy kick, punch, and he gets a drink from it. And once again, man, the way drive impact works in this game is you don't. What's cool about this game is that you can't do anything too predict. You can't flowchart too much in Street Fighter 6 at this current time right now. Like you can't always just do low medium kick fireball with Ryu because now you have the threat of drive impact, right? You have to always be aware of drive impact. And drive impact has a ton of ways to counter it. It's not like insanely strong if you just mindlessly use it, but it becomes more dangerous the more predictable you are, right? The chances of Ryu doing, like, all they've been doing is crouching medium kick up to this point, you know? So they're very susceptible to drive impact. So you have to be very careful. You have to always mix it up. It's kind of like, you know, in Street Fighter 3, of course, using Street Fighter 3 is a good example. You guys I won't hear the end of this, but in Street Fighter 3, you know how you have, like, red parry? This is, like, super high-level stuff, but because of the threat of red parry, where you can parry during block strings, if you're too predictable on the highest level of play, let's say you're a Ken player that always does his target combo on your block strings because you're fishing for it, you can get red parry, for example, right? In this game, this is kind of like a more easier ghetto version of that. But anytime, like I said, if your block strings are way too predictable and you're always doing the same stuff, drive impact is going to stop that. And I think that's really good because there is a lot of predictable stuff in Street Fighter V right now where all the matches are starting to look really samey because everything's optimal and there aren't enough tools for every character to stop them, you know? So having parry and drive impact is going to really help every character, not just a specific character, every character deal with predictable things. So he hit him while airborne. That's why he's flipping up like that. Once again, the drive rush right here. He does a heavy kick, which, by the way, the heavy kick could have been, a crush counter, right? If he got a punish counter with it. So when he did the drive rush, if he would have got a punish counter with it, he would have been able to land a really fat combo, like a full confirm, you know? And, and then Ryu was able to block it, but then he still gets a turn, and then he still gets a throw. And once again, you might think, wow, that means drive rush is so powerful. But this is the reason why it costs 3 bars when you do it during a block string, It's very expensive. It's half your drive gauge for something so powerful. You have to make sure it costs a lot, right? But even then, there's still counters to this because the person on the defense has options like drive reversal, parry, and drive impact to stop people from doing predictable pressure. Once again, I have to really hammer that point because I know a lot of people are very concerned with drive impact and how drive rush can be abused as well. So he tried cross cuts are in this game in case you guys were wondering. Jamie whiffs a throw. Normally in Street Fighter V you can option select with this because if Ryu jumps straight up you'd be able to DP him. And he jumps out of the throw whiff. And then Flawless tries a cross cut here with the EXDP, but I was talking about before how it seemed to have really slow startup, and so he was able to block it as he hit the ground. But crosscuts are in the game, or autocorrects, or whatever you want to call them. Nice tick throw. You see how close Ryu is after the forward throw? Oh, he messed up his DP. There's that medium kick again. Ooh, see? This time, instead of doing the tick throw, he went for a shimmy. And then you see from the throw whiff, punish counter. So, once again, I've talked about this a lot, where the shimmy game, every option seems strong, but also rewarding, where if you successfully bait your opponent for throwing, you can eat a lot of damage. Like, what if Jamie did heavy kick here, right? And he got the crumple off. You basically, whiff and a throw can be like equivalent to like whiff and a DP, technically, right? It depends how fast the character's like crush counter button is. But you can get a lot of damage here. But at the same time, it's also worth it to tech the throw too, because of the distance they fly away from each other back in neutral. But he got put into burnout here. Oh, the EX Tatsu wasn't far enough. Crouching medium punch. They got to buff that. Poor Ryu. Boom. Nice. Crouching heavy punch and the EX donkey into uppercut. And this is the thing too, like doing so much pressure with that drive rush put Flawless into burnout. You know, he no longer has all these defensive tools and offensive tools that we were just talking about. And it's kind of funny because if you're someone who likes to play a lot of ST, you know, burnout might feel just at home, you know, because the only thing you have is supers. And if you're someone who's already a solid player, or you're used to just having your special moves, you might not mind being put into burnout for some characters, you know. We'll see. There'll probably be a tier list on like which characters are strongest in burnout that don't mind spending on that bar. But you are at a serious disadvantage no matter how good you are at ST. And you can see here, when he lands a hit, you can see Jamie's the gray meter here. You know, it's not going up when he's getting hit. Like, it's so slow. It takes so long. But when he lands a hit on Ryu, now look at his meter. It's going up, so it rewards you. It gets you out of burnout faster when you're landing your hits. And then once you're out, you get your full meter back. Nice zoning, dude. And you can still win. I like that there's more reward for both landing and tech and a throw. Hell yeah. So once again, this level 2 super for Jamie, it temporarily gives Jamie max level at 4, and his super meter turns into a timer at this point. He doesn't seem to gain any super meter during this timer. And his hair isn't crazy and flowy, but he's still like glowing red. He has everything that a max level 4 would anyways. It just looks different. I guess they did that just to show you that he's not naturally. It's only temporary, right? Still very strong. Nice. Good frame trap. So he blocked the dive kick here, and he hit Ryu really high up. But he didn't seem to be able to punish it. He did crouching light punch. Even Ryu's crouching light punch seems to go very far. Oh no. So we see here, because of the drive rush, giving more frame advantage and enhancing your normal, he was able to get another hit there. I think L.A. Joe, when he was playing Jamie the other night, he was going standing heavy punch, crouching light punch, I think, or standing light punch after. But you can get another hit off of standing heavy punch naturally with Jamie. Good corner carry on that, too. See, there it is, guys. Look at that buffer on that standing medium kick. Oh my god, dude. This is Jamie's core circle back punch. It's like Young's rush punch. But I think once we get to once the game comes out, everyone has to start to realize how punishable crouching medium kicks are. That's going to be something people need to adjust to. Right now, we're seeing it non-stop because we're still kind of used to Street Fighter 4 and 5. But you can already tell how devastating it is once people start getting optimal combos with Drive Rush. So once again, the OD dive kick you can juggle after. Really good for getting around fireballs too, by the way, which is what he used it for. And there's that step kick again. Ooh. Look at that. Easy combo afterwards. Yeah, that's going to be really dangerous. Like, all Jamie players, when they get level 2, they're going to be fishing that step kick so much. It's so good. Yeah, this is a great match. So, Ryu here on his Denjin stock. So, one thing that I see a lot of Ryu players not doing is that to do this, by the way, it's down punch. So for Ryu, when he gets his stock, a lot of Ryu players will just throw the fireball, but they don't know it actually enhances his palm strike as well, including his palm and level 1 super. His level 1 and level 2 super enhances both of those as well. But a lot of players will just throw the fireball right away, but I think it's better for Ryu players once they get this stock to try to close the distance and try to get that palm in. Because the palm makes Ryu really plus when it's enhanced. And if he lands a hit with it, he also can juggle after it. So it becomes a really scary like get-in tool for Ryu. Another cool thing, I think it was Nurse Lee that pointed on Twitter. I don't remember off the top of my head. But they were showing footage that, for example, you know the classic like Ryu max range crouching medium kick into fireball, and there's like a gap in that. Well, if the opponent like thinks that you're gonna throw a fireball, you can actually mix it up and frame trap them with the palm instead, because it looks like Ryu's throwing the fireball at the palm, but he actually moves forward and hits with that, and that's gonna allow some cool mix up for Ryu's block strings. So you see how he's like closing in. Because there's parry in this game too, you know, you're not going to be zoning full screen in this game. Unless you have a slow fireball like Guile. Here's another example, once again, of how slow Drive Impact is. So Flawless, he tries using Drive Impact as an anti-air here, because he's jumping in. He literally uses it as Ryu does a jumping heavy punch, and he still has time to block it. Like, that means that the Ryu player had enough time to do his Drive Impact and straight up punish this. If he had super, he could have supered. You know what I mean? Like, he could have parried it. We know from the NYC footage that if you raw parry Drive Impact, you have too much recovery to actually punish it, it seems, unless you did a perfect parry. So impacting a Drive Impact seems to be the way to go, because they all do one hit. So that means the last person to Drive Impact always wins. Nice! Good whiff punish. So he gets the Denjin stock again. If you guys don't know by now, it shows the stock right below the health bar. Like, I love the extra notification that we have on because there's a lot of stocks in this game in general, you know. Ryu has stocks, Jamie, Jury, Kimberly will, right? With her spray paint cans. Like, there's a lot of stocks. There we go. Ooh! 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 The damage. So, even though forward hard punch, you can't link after it naturally, you can drive rush, because, see, that's the thing. If forward hard punch was like Street Fighter 5, and you can't special cancel of it, that means you couldn't drive rush out of it, right? So that's why they changed it. That's why they made it special cancelable in this. So use it with drive rush. So you're probably plus 1 billion. He lands a forward hard punch, easiest confirm your life, standing medium punch, crouching fierce, big deeps, because a lot of Ryu players before this footage, when they do a drive rush, they always do standing medium punch, crouching medium punch. But remember, your next hit out of drive rush is enhanced. So that means you can do a bigger, always a bigger link, usually like a heavy normal afterwards, right? So in this case, Ryu's crouching heavy punch. We know from the NYC footage that you can do with Ryu standing medium punch, back heavy punch naturally, which is nice. And I think back heavy punch will probably be the go-to for Ryu's B&Bs because it seems like it has more horizontal range than crouch and heavy punch, but I don't know the damage difference. Maybe crouch and heavy punch does more damage. So it depends on your distance, right? But Ryu has some really good links. And then he does OD, donkey kick, and then the wall bounce. Let me see how much meter he had before he spent. So, in case you guys don't know, at this point, if you look at Ryu's meter, you can see he has less than 2 bars, right? He has like 1.2 bars here. And he's still able to do the OD, even though it costs 2, and it puts him to burnout. So, remember, guys, that no matter what, as long as if you have drive gauge left, even if it's just a pixel of drive gauge, you can do any drive ability, even drive rush. So let's say you have like just a pixel of drive gauge left, not even 1 bar. You can still do drive rush, which is supposed to cost 3, and it'll put you into burnout. So you can get it. Basically, it's a cool thing for Capcom to put in because it makes it tempts you to want to go into burnout because you're going to get a really low costing drive rush, right? It tempts you like, hey, you can do drive rush here and you can overspend if you want. And it makes it kind of worth it to go into burnout if, you have lethal or you can put them to the corner or whatever. I really like that idea. I wouldn't like the idea of like you have half a bar and you can't do anything, right? Because then you have to wait. It would really slow down the pace of the game. So once again, you can overspend if you want. And now he's in burnout. Now he has Jamie in the corner, right? Boom. And it was worth it. It paid off. Very cool. Nice whiff punish again. Did he do crouching medium kick? Yeah, he did. Nice sweep. That was really nice too. So we're not seeing enough of this, where once again the drive rush can be cancelled immediately from a parry, and when you do that, it only costs 1 bar. Very, very cheap, and the drive rush itself is a run. It's not a dash, right? So a lot of players can use drive rush just raw and neutral, and there's a lot of cool things you can do with it. One is that he went straight into his overhead, and it's forward moving, right? So he just goes straight into it and lands the overhead. And now, since it was a drive rush overhead, it's enhanced, and your Soul Plus, you can now combo after your overhead. Right? Very cool. And it's very low costing. Look at Jamie's meter. Right? He barely used 1 bar for that whole sequence. So, like I said, even though, if you don't like the slower pace of just always being in neutral, there's a lot of cool rushdown options you still have. And he did overhead again. This is the overhead target combo that Jamie has from level 2. Level 2 or level 1. Okay, this is really interesting. I want to talk about here too. Okay, so forward hard punch. It lands. And instead of... He has a guaranteed combo here from Drive Rush. The Ryu player. But instead of going standing medium punch and comboing, he resets the combo and goes for an overhead instead. Gets a reset. Since it was a drive rush overhead, he can combo after. You can combo the standing medium punch, I heard, with Ryu. He does crouch and light punch, and he gets a combo. Now he drops it. But this already tells us something with the pressure, okay? So that means technically, when you land... When you do a drive rush sequence on somebody, you can go for like a 50-50. Let's say Jamie blocked the forward hard punch. The Ryu player can do drive rush, crouch and light kick into like standing medium punch, for example, and starts a combo from a low. He can do drive rush overhead, which he did, and he successfully got the reset. Or he can do drive rush throw, or he can do drive rush shimmy. And it just goes on and on and on. It's like every character has Ken's V-skill run, That's very, very strong. And people don't want every character to have 50-50 mix-up. You don't want to turn every character into Mika. But don't forget that the Jamie player, Flawless, he also has more defensive tools. Once again, drive reversal, parry, drive impact. There's ways around this. But this is kind of showing you the scope of how flexible drive rush is and all the things we can do from it. It's going to take a while. Like, after this game comes out, it's going to take a while before people really see what's optimal to do with drive rush. But you can basically play how you want. You can use it very defensively, or you can use it very aggressively. Or you can use it for just big fat combos. Okay, so this is the enhanced. So remember, he's got a Denjin stock at this point. Like I told you, it enhances all the palms. And he does the OD palm here and lands it on Jamie. This causes enough hit stun where you can combo after. He could have did crouching medium kick here if he wanted to. But instead he just goes into raw Tatsu. But it just shows you how plus he actually was. He could have did like low medium kick drive rush from there if you wanted to. Or just straight into crouching medium kick, OD donkey kick. And if he blocked it, Ryu would have been insanely plus. We saw a lot of like, even just doing, from the NYC footage, even just doing Denjin palm with Ryu on block, he can literally do a standing light punch and just check you. Like, he's that plus. Did the Ryu fireball knock down? The Denjin fireball knocks down, but not the regular knocks down. Oh, Jamie's level 4. Nice. Boom, into level 3. So, people are going to be asking this question a million times, even when the game comes out. But I'll mention it here, the rules of how supers work and how you can cancel into them. Level 1 supers can only be cancelled from cancelable normal attacks, such as like crouching medium kick. You can go straight into level 1 super. Level 2 supers can also be cancelled from ODs. So if you did like EX uppercut, you can go into a level 2, for example. And level 3s can be cancelled from anything. They can be cancelled from special cancelable normals, OD special moves, and regular special moves. So you can do low forward, fireball, level 3. Those are the restrictions of supers. So the higher the level of the super, the more easier it is to combo into. Yeah, OD means EX. It stands for overdrive. I know, guys. I know it's funny saying OD all the time, but I'm just calling it by the proper name. But I think this is a really good choice from Capcom because I feel like if level 1 supers were special cancelable, it would be a level 1 fest. I think this was a really clever design choice. I think the whole game would be like too much low medium kick fireball super, level 1 super, that kind of thing. There'd be no reason to want to use level 2s and level 3s unless like the level 2 had a really crazy install. But I think this is a great choice. So he did, in this situation, he did OD uppercut into level 3, but he could have just did regular uppercut because it was a level 3. And if you guys don't know by now too, the CAs are just in higher damaging level 3s. When your character has 25% health or less, your level 3 becomes a CA instead, and it just means it's going to do more damage. It has the same properties. And the animation will change, like the character might do something different at the end of the cutscene. There are some very specific examples of being, like, for example, Jamie, his level 3 non-CA, you can juggle afterwards, because he does like this kick move, whereas the CA doesn't seem like you can. So there's some small differences besides that, but the rules of how you can cancel is the same. Is that a comeback mechanic? It's the only comeback mechanic you can technically say there is in Street Fighter 6, is the CA. But being at 25% health is really low, and the supers don't instantly kill you. It's not like X Factor. But it's very surprising that there is no like huge big comeback factor in Street Fighter 6. Nice. See, even Jamie, like every character has some drive rush crouching medium kick conversion, you know? A crouching medium kick is extremely rewarding because look, you get the heavy punch, crouching heavy punch, right into the breakdown. So much damage. Every character has this. Another thing too, as I saw some people asking this, as like kind of like an exploit. Some people were asking like, well, what if you like did a link and you did raw parry into drive rush, so it only costs 1 bar instead of 3. I'm sure you might be able to do that if you did something that had a lot of hit stun, like you did a crush counter move and you did that. But Capcom was smart on making it so you cannot cancel a normal into parry. And since you can't do that, you can't take advantage of the parry drive rush, which only costs 1 bar. So I saw some people asking that. But you can't do that. Capcom thought about that, guys. But I do think, once again, if, let's say your opponent was stunned, right? You got a burnout and you stunned them, then you'd be able to do something fancy like raw drive rush into a fat combo. 1 bar, right? Or if you got a crush counter, they whiffed a DP, you might be able to do like a really heavy attack. They're crumpled, and then you could do raw drive rush. Maybe even after a drive impact, we'd have to see. That's something I would want to test. Nice. And there's the command grab, boys. Right here. So command grab you get from level 3. And now Jamie is cracked. So the command grab allows a free hit, basically. It doesn't, the command grab itself doesn't do damage. And by the way, Jamie pokes you in the eyes. He pokes you right in the eyes. Boink. And that's really scary. So cool. We only saw the CPU using like command grab with Jamie. No, the normal priority system is gone. So higher strength normals can trade with lights now in Street Fighter 6. Nice. So here's the normal dive kick that I showed you guys. It just knocks down. So you can't get a juggle after it. Okay guys, here it comes. So look, he goes heavy kick, drive rush, command grab. And remember, we haven't seen any grapplers in this game yet, but this is scary, guys, because that means characters like Zangief are going to be able to drive rush block string you into a reset like an SPD or something. So you guys gotta be on your toes. You know, Zangief can run at you, right? That's right, guys. Be ready. Command grabs are gonna be very strong. Very scary. Remember, every character can use this mechanic, so I can't wait to see what the grapplers are like. Hopefully we can see some stuff at TGS, maybe. I'm sure JB's command grab, you gotta be point blank, you know? This combo, look how much damage that did, guys. The standing medium kick, with, by the way, you got the punish counter. So he did a shimmy. So the Ryu does wake up grab, right? He walks back, wake up grab. Since he whipped the grab, it's a punish counter medium kick. Medium kick is special cancelable for some reason. He does OD core circle back 2 punches. And it causes a juggle state, and you do heavy kick DP right after. Look how much, look at his health. So whiffing throws, man. Whew. Scary. But you can perfect parry fireballs. So here's the combo I was talking about before, guys. So he goes heavy kick to punish the DP. He did drive rush from the heavy kick into dash forward, down 2 kicks launcher. Now he did jumping heavy kick here. So if this wasn't a drive rush launcher, this jumping heavy kick wouldn't work. It would whiff. You'd have to do jumping medium punch. So that's what I mean when I say that drive rush literally enhances some normals and gives it more properties that you can do after. And then he juggled into heavy kick DP. So much damage. So much corner carry. Really cool. Alright, here comes the beauty, guys. Level 3 non-CA. Watch this. Juggles afterwards. So cool. So, like I was talking about before, there are very specific examples of where there's a difference between a non-CA and a CA, which is just a level 3 when you have 25% less health, besides just the damage. In this case, for Jamie, his level 3 non-CA, you can juggle after. Nerf Jamie, please. So, he walks backwards, standing medium kick, gets a counter hit from it into core circle back punch. And then he cancels to the level 3. Once again, with level 3 supers, you can special cancel into them. Only level 3s. If it was a level 2, he would need to do an OD version to cancel into it. So he does a level 3, and then he goes into a core circle back OD punch right here, and then heavy kick DP. So because the super meters are tied to their own meter, they're separate from the drive gauge, that means you can do OD specials, right? Or even maybe drive rush. You can do other mechanics even though you spent your super meter, since they're separate bars, for a lot of damage. That's why I'm like, man, I don't know which character I want to play, dude. Every character is so cool. So thanks again from Flawless Deku, man, for the footage. He looks like he's mastered Jamie already, man. Now he has me convinced to like check out Jamie, which is great. And this was from the VS Fighting Tournament. Dude, there's so much good footage is coming from the EU. I noticed when we're looking at all this high-level footage. But yeah, there's gonna be a huge info dump that probably me and Mir are gonna go through in the future, because those NYC guys answered a lot of questions for us too. So that'll probably be the next video I'm gonna do with Mir. So hope you guys enjoyed this, man. This might be the last kind of footage that we watch until Tokyo Game Show, where they're gonna finally show a new build of Street Fighter 6, and I'll talk more about that in the future as well. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and now we've seen great gameplay from Ryu, Jamie, Chun-Li, and Luke so far. So can't wait to see the new characters too.